Okay, Rabbi Greenwald, go ahead.
Yeah, so yesterday we learned the lavim that a person could be over for speaking Lashon Hara. They could be over lifnei iver. And we said that there's a distinction between the Mesaper and the Makabel, because the Mesaper is over lifnei iver no matter what, no matter how many people are listening, because let's say, for example, there's more people listening, then he's been makshel even more people. He's been putting a stumbling block in front of more people. But if there's many shomim, so the Chafetz Chaim seems to indicate here that it's very possible that those shomim are not over lifnei iver, because even if that one person wasn't there, he could have spoken to the other people. And so lifnei iver is when you're providing the person with the efsharis, with the possibility to do the avera. He does indicate, however, though, there could be that he's over other lifnei ivers of some of the other lavim that are here. But there's a distinction there he makes between the speaker and the listener. And then after that, we talked about that a person could be over pen tishkach, that you could be over forgetting Hashem, because a person who speaks Lashon Hara often is a Baal Gaiva. He's a person that thinks that he's better than the person he's speaking about, and therefore, and he speaks about how terrible of an Easter that is to be a Baal Gaiva, because, I just, as an aside, I just heard it wasn't a Torah commentator, it was forget who this was, but it was somebody talking about what's going on now, and they were saying how this is the great equalizer, this virus, because it hits everybody. There's nobody, the rich people, the poor people, the young people, the old, nobody's exempt from this. So they were saying how, however high and mighty that a person might think they are, a microbe. But so the thing is that he says here that a person could be over being gaivadik, forgetting Hashem. So we're up to Vav now, and he says here, over nami amasaper makabel belav velo tishalulu es shem kadshi. You're over making a chiddush Hashem. Do not desecrate my holy name. This is an interesting point. I don't exactly thoroughly understand it, because he says here, he says that because since there's no physical taiva for this, it's not a gashmiistic taiva, so therefore he says, okay, it sounds like therefore he's rebelling against Hashem and throwing off the all of Shemayim. I was looking in the notes here. It's strange to me, because it sounds like what it's saying here is that since that there's no gashmiistic hana, therefore he's just rebelling against Hashem. And I don't know, it seems to me that there's a different kind of hana, maybe like we said, arrogance before, that could come from this. But it seems he's saying here, since there's no gashmi hana that comes from this, no physical, it's not like the guy couldn't take it, he ate chazer. So therefore, he's over chil Hashem. Umachal shem shemayim bezeh. He desecrates Hashem's name by doing this. Bezeh dibarnu afilu b'stam ish Yisrael. And this is talking about even a regular Jew does this. If a regular Jew does these things, he speaks, he's making a chil Hashem. Ubifrat imhu ish choshev shakal mistakmin al masa b'vadei mischal shem al yidei zeh. But if a person who's a Talmud Chacham speaks Lashon Hara, so it's all the more worse. It creates a terrible chil Hashem, because people look to this person to see how to behave. And then all the more so now, if that he speaks Lashon Hara, this kind of Lashon Hara in public, gadol ad ma'od. It's tremendous hate. Now he's not only creating a chil Hashem, but he's publicly doing it. That's even a step worse. So that's one thing a person can be over, is chil Hashem. Zion. Ulafamim over Masaper gam ken belav the lo sisna es achicha bilvavecha. This is another interesting one, because it says, don't hate your brother in your heart. Kagon im b'fanav shalom yidaber esrehu. Like if he speaks peacefully in front of his friend, he acts like he likes him. He speaks nicely and peacefully. Ushalo b'fanav mevish esrecho b'fnei acherim. But in front of others, the way he puts it here kind of is he putrefies his odor in front of others. He gives him a bad reputation in front of others. So what he's saying here, and again, I was looking in the Ber Mayim Chaim on this, it's actually worse that he acts peaceful in front of him. And the Mefarshim explained because that if a person, let's say the person would express his dislike for the person in front of him, right in front of the face of the person knows to guard himself from him. He knows he doesn't like him, and he knows to protect himself. But what this guy does is he acts like that he likes the person in front of him. The person is his snake. Behind his back, he's going and damaging him, and he doesn't even know to protect himself. Right. So this is even worse. This is specifically to do this and to do it without the person knowing. He says, "V'achas kama v'kama im b'feirush mitzava lahem shelo yelchu v'yodiuhu devade over alav zeh." It's even worse if he says to the people he's speaking to, "Hey, don't tell so-and-so that I'm saying these things." Then he says, "You're certainly over this lav." So it's interesting. If that you would go in front of the guy's face and do this in front of him and other people, let's say, you might be over, he says this in the Ber Mayim Chaim, you might be over Onus Devarim, you might be over other lavim. But this lav is specifically addresses somebody who is doing this privately, who's not saying publicly that he's pretending to be the guy's friend, and then like a snake behind his back, he's going and damaging him. So you could be over this lav as well by speaking Lashon Hara. Ches and Tes, he puts these two together. Ulefamim shemasaper over gamkein al lav delo sikum velo sitor. He's also over the lav of don't hold a grudge and don't take revenge. It's interesting, we'll see in a minute that they use a different example of this. And again, the Ber Mayim Chaim discusses this, because the usual example which Rashi brings that people give for this, what does it mean to hold a grudge and take revenge? So to hold a grudge would be if, let's say, I came to you and said, "Can I borrow your axe?" and you said no, and then you come to me a week later and say, "Can I borrow your rake?" and I say, "No way," right? Because I'm doing that because you wouldn't. So then that's taking a revenge. Holding a grudge is if I said, "Here it is, you can borrow it, but I'm not like you." Right? So those are those two lavim. So he says here, "Kagon sheyesh lo sina alav al davar shabikesh menu la'asos lo tova b'devar she'elas mamon." For some reason here, and I didn't understand the whole. I have to look at the Ber Mayim Chaim deeper in this, but he goes into why he chose that case of mamon here. You went to the person, he wouldn't lend you money, right? Below he wouldn't do good with you. For Averzed, no terlo sina belibo, and now he harbors hate in his heart. He is holding a grudge. Ukasharoa achar kachalav shum devar ganai, and as soon as he catches the guy, he sees some kind of ganai, something lowly. He's out looking for something to talk about. Mefarsamo b'fnan anashim. He publicizes it in front of other people. Who over mitechila al hanatira shavalev. He's over in the first place when he holds on to it, the grudge he's holding in his heart. Al lav, even holding in his heart, that's the lav of holding a grudge. Lo sitor. V'achar kach no keim imenu. And then when he takes revenge, in this case, not by withholding something else from him, but sipur alav over zeh divrei gnus. Instead, he speaks Lashon Hara about the person to take revenge. Shara alav over al lav delo sikom. Now he's over the law of taking revenge. El etzarech sheyimche hadavar milibo. Rather, he has to completely erase the thing from his heart, and that should be a musar for us. That was somebody, let's say, does not do a tova for a person, instead of holding a grudge and getting angry out of it at the person, he should instead just let it go. Who knows what reasons why the person didn't do the tova. Let's do one more. Yud. Ve'im kam ve'heid alav lifnei bezdin devar iser biyechidi. Now there are bezdin, there are batei dinim nowadays That's not as common a thing, perhaps, but people do go before Bezdin. So if a person goes in front of Bezdin as a yachid, he tells the Bezdin. Actually, I don't know how this would happen nowadays. I'm not sure, but he goes as a yachid. Kevan shein yachol lavo mizeh shum toelis the inyan mamon ushvua v'lo inyan lifsol es ha'ish hazeh mechezkes kashruso. Since that there's no way that it can cause an oath or cause someone to pay money. There's no valuable purpose can come out of saying this negative thing in front of the Bezdin. So therefore, he says here, im kain shame bish ba'almahu. It's just speaking badly about the person. It's all it amounts to. Ka mafik alav over al yidei zeh gam kain alav lo yakum eid echad beish l'kol avon l'kol chatos. It says in the Torah, it warns us, don't testify as one witness because it's worthless. I don't know, maybe if a person nowadays would go to a Rav to tell the Rav something that there's nothing to act on, right? So it's just it's just an isser. Utsrikin bezdin la koso averza hadaver. The Gemara gives a case of this where there was a person who came and spoke as an eid echad against somebody in a bezdin, and the bezdin gave him makos, he gave them lashes of rebelliousness for having come and spoken and bezdin against somebody as one witness. So that's another law that a person could be over while speaking Lashon Hara. So, okay, so next time we'll pick it up. If that's okay with everybody, Yud Aleph.